Hey guys, it's Abby from Autumn with Pellinor, and today I am finally doing my February wrap-up. So the end of February was a very hectic time for me. I mean, from the 12th of February it was ridiculously hectic. I had 2 exams and an assignment, and then the day I handed in the assignment, which was the last thing due, my boyfriend arrived, and then he's been here until yesterday as I'm filming it. So I haven't had time to film because he doesn't want to be in my videos and I didn't want to waste time with him. So yes, it ended up meaning that this has been pretty delayed. So I'm sorry about that, but let's just get into it. So this month was a pretty good reading month. I actually ended up reading 5 5-star books, 2 4-star and 2 3-star as well. So that ended up pretty good, I think. I read 3 historical fictions and 2 mysteries, as well as a contemporary, a memoir, a dystopian and a humour book, with, I've got the details off to the side here, with 5 of them being adult and 4 of them being YA. So let's get into them. So the first one up is All Walls of Belfast by Sarah J. Colson. This comes out, as I'm filming, tomorrow. It comes out on the 12th of March. As I upload it, who knows? But it came or comes out on the 12th of March 2019. This book is about a young girl going to Northern Ireland for the first time, to Belfast, because she was actually born there and she is Irish. However, her mum fled to America and refuses to talk about her father and all of that, so she goes back to see what that life is like. As you can see, there are 2 people on the cover. We also follow Danny. He is born and bred Belfast and he's actually on the other side of the divide. He is a Protestant and Fiona is a Catholic, and so this is kind of following their relationship as it grows, and as they get to know each other more, and how the different sides treat each other and how this inherent prejudice against each other can influence how they act, but then also the difficulty in wanting to talk to someone from the other side and not really being allowed to by the cultural things in your area. It's a really deep book. It's really interesting. I really enjoyed it and I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. I didn't expect to. From the synopsis I had expected it to be a lot more romancy, and I'd warned Sarah of this because I should say that she did actually send me this advanced reader's copy for no stipulation. There was no need to review or whatever, but I talked to her about it when she was sending it and she said like, oh, you know, don't worry about not liking it if it's not your thing, but she didn't think there was too much of a focus on the romance, and I was like, okay, I'll see what happens when I get into it. And I agree, the romance here, the problem I have with straight romance books is that I don't care about the characters. I don't care about the romance of someone I don't have any investment in, whereas in this book I am invested in the characters and their different lives and what's going on, so there is a story other than romance and I care genuinely about the characters and therefore can be invested in the romance. So yeah, this was really good, and I'll shut up, but I definitely recommend you pick it up when it comes out, or because it's now out. I'm behind. Next up is another 5-star read, and that is Orphan Monster Spy by Matt Killeen. This is a World War II historical fiction following a young Jewish girl, it's YA again, follows a young Jewish girl who looks Aryan and ends up in a Nazi girls' boarding school as a spy. This is really deep, really interesting. It took a turn I wasn't expecting near the end, and if you like World War II stuff, you'll really enjoy this one. I just found it so interesting, and I loved the ending premise. Try not to give anything away. And then, yeah, I will say, Alex from Alex Black channel, pick this one up. Just give it a shot. It is a YA and it is a piece of fiction, but just give it a shot because I really enjoyed it. We both love historical fiction. Next up, another Famous 5 parody book 5 Go on a Strategy Away Day by Bruno Vincent. As always, these books are fun, but nothing more. This one had the Secret Seven involved and like a little bit of a rivalry between the two. I always give these 3 stars. They've never blown me out of the water, but at the same time I adored this series as a child, and I do love going back to it and seeing the characters reimagined as a little bit older. Then we have The 13 Problems by Agatha Christie. Again, another 3-star read. This one was weird. It was ringing so many bells, and I read a book called Miss Marple's Short Stories or something similar. This is a Miss Marple book, and I don't know if this is the same book and that just had a different title, and because I'm at uni rather than at my parents' place where my books are, I can't compare the two, and I won't be going back for a little while yet, so this might have been a reread. I read the other book at the very beginning of 2016, and that was when I started getting back into reading, which is why I don't really remember it so well. And then also the nature of this, it's 13 pretty short stories linked together, so yeah, I don't know if it's the same. This may have been a reread, but either way it was really enjoyable. 3 stars is not bad for me at all. For me, 3 stars is a good, enjoyable read, nothing more. 4 stars is a really good book, and 5 stars is smacking you over the head with it, making you read it. So this was a very good and enjoyable book. Keeping with the Agatha Christie theme, but switching to Hercule Poirot, The Monogram Murders by Sophie Hannah. This is the first book in the series. I read the 3rd one off of NetGalley. Sophie Hannah is writing in the style of Agatha Christie, continuing on with Poirot. This one was really interesting. I actually gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it more than the Miss Marvel collection. The twists and turns kind of keep you there until the end, and you're always wondering what on earth is going to be happening next. So yes, I really enjoyed this one. I definitely want to pick up the 2nd one, and if any more come out, I'll pick them up too. Then we have Book of Lies by Terry Terry. This was a pickup from a charity shop purely because it's Terry Terry. I adored the Slated trilogy, and I wanted to read more from her, and I'm so glad I did. This is a 5-star read. I love her writing. She is now a favourite author, and if I see any more of her books in charity shops, they're coming with me. Like, I will buy everything she reads from charity shops because I am a student with very small income, but I'll buy everything. This book in particular follows 2 twins who were separated at birth because they think that one of them has dark powers and will negatively influence the world around her, so they try and keep the good child away from her. This results in the bad child being essentially isolated from the world. She lives in a very small town and then is homeschooled, so it's about them meeting at their mother's funeral, and kind of how the story then runs on from that, and how they kind of discover that they do have these abilities and why they were separated and things like that. And yeah, a 5-star read. If you've ever read Terry Terry's writing before and enjoyed it, every single book of hers that I've read so far hits the same punch. They've all been so great, and I love her. And then also this one was signed when I got it, and I can't actually work out what the name is, but it's personalised and signed, and I always love the fact that Terry Terry does Terry squared for her name. Then we have Rose Under Fire by Elizabeth Ween. I never know how to say this. I need to look up how she says her own name. This is kind of a companion novel to Codename Verity, which I read a while ago now, before my big slump. I think I forced my way through it. I think I was in my slump. I think I forced my way through it when I was 17. I need to reread it because seeing as I was in a giant slump, I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have. But this is kind of a companion novel, not the same characters, but it's a World War II book. This one follows a young American girl who's come over to help the RAF, and she is only allowed to do certain things because she's female, but it's kind of about how her time during World War II goes. I wasn't expecting where it went. If you've read Codename Verity, you'll know how that one goes, and you could probably guess how this one went, but I just didn't put any time into it to think about it. So when the event happened and when the catalyst happened and then the response from that came up in the book, I'm trying to say this without spoilers, I was really surprised, and then I really enjoyed reading about it. I felt it was really insightful and really interesting, and I don't want to tell you what it is because although you could probably work it out, I really enjoyed not knowing. So this was great. Both this and Book of Lies got 5 out of 5 stars from me. Just adored them. And these are all of the books I read between the 1st to the 11th of February, and then I didn't read anything at all until the 23rd. I have my bullet journal over here. And so I've stolen Books and Lovers pages read thing, and I do this every month. And you can see, if I've lined the camera up right, so you can see that there is a nice big gap here where I didn't read for a while. This was actually exam time. The 2 days where I did read were actually 2 days before the exam, like the day before and the day before that. I was a bit more prepared for that one. I still don't have the exam results back, which is kind of annoying because I'm the only one who did the exam at that time, and it was mechanics and all the answers were mathematical, so that should be really easy to mark. But no, welcome to Masters, it's the same as undergrad. And for these last 2 books that I read, I borrowed them from a university library, so I'm currently looking up on Goodreads because I can't remember the authors' names. I'm really good at this. So the first one that I read was Auschwitz, and that is by Pascal Croci? I don't know. Oops. I think he's French. His Goodreads profile doesn't say, so I can't be 100% sure. But yes, this is a graphic novel about Auschwitz. I read it really quickly and I enjoyed it. I'm aware I'm talking very stiltedly at the minute. I gave it 4 stars and it was good. It showed me stuff that I already knew, but the art style was very harrowing and very sharp edges, and you could see the gauntness quite distinctly in the faces. And yeah, there were a few tidbits here and there that were very saddening and interesting. The thing that hit me the most was the link that he made between Auschwitz and the whole Holocaust and the genocide that happened in Bosnia and Herzegovina in former Yugoslavia in like the 70s and the 80s. And he actually made the link between that. 2 of the characters go through both, which is shown at the beginning of the book, but it didn't click for me till the end of it. And that was a big moment for me. My dad actually fought in that war. He was a member of the British Army. He's still alive. He's just a veteran now. And so he went out there, and I've not really asked him about that time too much because it's difficult to get things out of my dad. But just seeing kind of what was happening there, that he had went to go stop, because I didn't know anything about it really, it kind of hit even stronger to home. I'm quite empathetic anyway, overly empathetic. It's probably a personality flaw of mine. So this just emphasised that even more. So yes, I gave that 4 stars. A quick read, but very interesting and a little different to normal. Then the last book I read last month, definitely last month, was Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. I've probably said that so wrong and I'm so sorry. She is an Iranian author. She was born and raised in Iran, and this is a graphic novel that is her memoir about this time. There was the Iran war and the takeover by stringent areas of Islamic rule, and she also left for a small time and was in Europe, so this book was originally written in French, I think, and then was translated into English. And it was just a really interesting book. I picked it up because I've seen Hannah from A Clockwork Reader talking about it, and she's Iranian, she's Persian, and she said about how good the representation was and how her parents and her grandmother had went through this exact thing. So because it's also a memoir and I have another Persian person telling me that it's very accurate, I trust this memoir, and it was really interesting to learn and to see this person's point of view and learn more about it, because yeah, I don't really know enough about this area. I feel now like I've dipped my toe in and like I kind of know a bit, which is really good. But yeah, before this I knew nothing, so I enjoyed educating myself and learning more. And so that is all of the books that I read in February. I have one special thing left though. She didn't want to be in the video today, she wasn't up for filming, but Becca read a book in February. If you don't know who Becca is, I will link the video where she appeared up in the card, if I'm pointing the right way. I think it's the November wrap-up, or TBR, it's one of the two. It'll be linked, and down there if I remember, probably not. And she actually read a book. She doesn't read a lot. And she read Fight Club by Chuck Pellinor. Yeah. She loves this film, it's her favourite film ever, and so she actually read the book. Good on her. She didn't enjoy it as much as the film. I've not seen or read this story, but apparently the book slowly builds up and you can tell that it's coming, this big surprise at the end, whereas the film, it is a surprise. I don't know if that's because she was aware of the surprise and therefore could see the hints that were dropped, or if it is just a different style of showing the story. But so she didn't enjoy it as much as she had hoped. And I don't know what star rating she gave it. Probably 3 from the way she's talking about it. Like, she didn't say it was a bad book, it just wasn't as good as the movie for her. So yes, that is the last book I'm mentioning, and those are all of the books that me and Becca read in February. Again, I'm really sorry this is up so late. Life gets in the way. And yes, I will try and be more timely with March's wrap-up. And I need to film my March TBR. I'm so behind. Welcome to Masters, everything goes messy. I couldn't think of a way to say that, that's why. But yes, thank you so much for watching, guys. Again, sorry it's late. If you do want to see me on any other platforms, I've got all of my social media linked down below. So I've got my blog, my Twitter, my Goodreads, and my Instagram, all bookish related. I do have personal ones, so if you ever for some reason want to follow me on there, let me know. I'll tell you what it is. But yeah, my bookish ones are linked down below. And yes, I shall hopefully see you guys next time. If you want to see some more from me, hit the red subscribe button, because thanks. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye!